Hello and welcome back to the Switch List. My name is Rick, and today I'm going to continue my What's on the Bench series. It's been a couple months since I put anything out in this playlist, primarily because I've been trying to work on the layout, but now I'm kind of at the point where not only do I need to do something on my What's on the Bench series, I also am in need of some structures for the layout, one of which is going to be a milk platform. So what I've got here is a Tichy train group kit that contains the milk platform, 80 milk cans, a hand car shed, the hand car, and a trailer. So let's open this up and take a look at what we got first. Okay, of course we have our instructions. So here's the instructions for the milk station. So that's this is all the hand car stuff. So I don't need to be concerned about that. So here's the pieces for the hand car, which we're not going to need. Okay, here we go, the pieces for the milk platform. So we've got our platform, sidewalls, looks like a roof, and then here's all of our milk cans. And then this is, look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we need 5 of these are our supports. 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course we're going to get an extra one. Whole bunch more milk cans. I'm not going to worry about those just yet, so I'm going to put these back in the box. Alright, so we're going to focus on this. So pretty straightforward. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and paint all of these pieces before I get started. And I think the primary color that I'm going to use probably going to be this Badger Precise Design Roof Brown. For starters, I'm going to go ahead and paint everything with the airbrush using this Roof Brown. So let me go take care of that, and then I'll be back after the parts are done. Okay, so here are all the pieces after I've painted them Roof Brown. So now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and separate them from the sprue, clean them up, and do the initial assembly, and then I will finish painting from there. This piece, I don't know if you can see that, warped a little bit. I'm not really sure what happened there. Okay, had to run off and have breakfast, so back. Continue our construction. So next up, we're going to glue the sides to the back. And I'm going to guess that this piece here, I don't know if you can see that, got a wider lip here than down here, so I think this is going to be the bottom.
So what I'm going to use the 1, 2, 3 blocks.
Hold those for a minute, let them set. Okay, so now I can glue, it says the sides to the back. Here's the back. And so we need to keep it square. And it looks like, yeah, so this, well, I get completely missed these edges when I airbrush these parts. And I want to recommend anybody out there who, you know, new modeler, inexperienced, like myself, if you're building structures or rolling stock and you're doing painting and you haven't invested in an airbrush, either, I mean, I understand that my airbrush is not very expensive. The compressor cost, I don't know, $60, $70. I started off with a, you know, kit or a, whatever you want to call it. It was the compressor, actually 3 airbrushes on .0 air. There, it's all from a company called .0, and 2 of the airbrushes I had. It was a single action 0.7 millimeter single action airbrush, and then a 0.5 millimeter double action, and another with a larger paint cup, and then a 0.3 millimeter with a smaller paint cup. I had some problems with the 0.3 millimeter, but I mean, I think I paid, I guess I'm not actually getting down to the paint. I think I paid like $80 for the set, the compressor, the airbrush, and the, I haven't had any problems with my main airbrush, which is the one with the larger paint cup. And I haven't had any problems with the compressor. And I mean, it makes life so much easier, especially painting plastic, because those of you who tried, you know that the paint doesn't, when you brush it on, it does not like to stick to the plastic consistently. And so it can be it's a multi-coat process to get paint, a good even coat of paint on the plastic when you're brushing it. And like what I just did there, I brush some on and it takes off what I previously put on. So I would seriously recommend getting an airbrush, even if all you do is get the single action 0.7 millimeter and you use the air cans. Just because getting primer onto the plastic, you can use that airbrush. It's not a detail brush. Use it to just simply get your primer coat on the plastic very quickly, very consistently, and then from there you can use your brushes to paint the model. But again, I know airbrushing can seem intimidating. It's not all that hard. I'm certainly not an expert at it, a great airbrush, I'm not an artist, but I can tell you that it is a fantastic tool if you're going to be building rolling stock and structures and painting them. Make your life a whole lot easier. Take a quick break. I'm going to touch this up with the airbrush and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've separated 2 sprues worth of the milk cans, and now I've started cleaning them up. Anyway, I'll work on this. I'll figure out what I'm going to do there, and I'll be back when I've got an answer and made some more progress. Okay, so while I was working on sanding all these milk cans down, I came up with an idea here to how I'm going to paint these. So I'm putting a dab of CA here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just temporarily glue these all down to this tongue depressor. Craft stick, I guess, is what they're called when I buy them from Amazon. So let me get all of these just glued down here. And then I'm going to take them over and I'm going to paint them again with the airbrush. So I'll finish this up, move over there, get them painted, and then I'll be back. Okay, so here's what we ended up with. I put the 20 on here and I hit them with some red primer, Stynylrez Res, great stuff for airbrushing primer. Fabulous stuff. Comes in a bunch of different colors. I find that I use the red, the white, the black, the gray, the green all the time. They have a neutral, and they got a couple others that I haven't tried yet. So, but anyway, here's the milk cans, and I'm going to go ahead and just continue to let them dry. I brush painted them with, after the airbrush, I brush painted them with this folk art metallic color, and then I hit them quickly with the heat gun just to kind of kickstart the drawing process. I'm gonna leave those to dry now, and I want to move on to putting a little weathering on this main structure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up. I need a black. I don't have black here, so I'm going to grab my black. Okay, so the battery died in the camera, so I went ahead. What I did is I mixed up a very thin wash, black paint, a lot of water, and then I've just gone over the entire structure here. So I'm going to let that dry, then we'll move on to the final weathering steps and finish this up and put it on the layout and see how it looks. Okay, so the pin wash dried, and I went ahead and I hit it with some variety of colors of weathering powders just to try to give it a little more aged look. So the last thing I need to do now is just glue on my milk cans, maybe hit them with a little bit of the wash as well to weather them up a little bit, and we'll put it on the layout. So I'm gonna attach these and then go get it on the layout We'll take one final look on how it turned out.